Welcome back to the show. Junkies on 106.7 The Fan. Just a few days away from 2015 NHL Winter Classic. Caps take on the Blackhawks, and we're happy to be joined by Washington Capitals goalie Braden Holtby on the Mitsubishi Electric Heating Hotline. Braden, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing well. Thanks for joining us after a quick turnaround from last night. Disappointing loss on the island, 4-3 in overtime. The Caps still grab a standings point. Talk about the game last night, the furious comeback that fell just short by your teammates.
Yeah, it was obviously not the game we wanted to play from start to finish, but we managed to get it to overtime with some timely goals, and penalty kill did an outstanding job, and just a couple seconds left, just couldn't quite hold on.
Is it weird playing in an old building like that, the Nassau Coliseum, built in 1972? I mean, you guys are used to playing in these barns that have been built in the last 5, 8, or 10 years. That place is ancient. Any weird, bounces to the puck on that ice? What's it like playing there?
I actually like it. I think it's got an old school feel to it. It's the fans feel like they're closer to you. It's a better atmosphere. The older buildings always have a better atmosphere the way they were built. So it's definitely a last of a dying breed, and it's kind of sad to see it go.
I know that, we've talked to Brooks about this before, Brooks Like, who we have on every Wednesday. And look, I know overtime losses or whatever, they suck, right? They feel like a loss. But when you do sneak a point and you are down 3, it stings a little less, right? Even though it sucks and you go home pissed, you're a little less pissed the way it goes down, right? Or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Maybe? Am I grasping?
A little bit. At least there's a bit of a consolation prize.
Right?
But it's still no fun when you put... I guess it kind of depends on the situation. I mean, last night we had a 4-minute penalty kill, a lot of it in overtime, and we were seconds away from killing it off. So that hurt a little bit more than usual because the guys did such a great job. But you're definitely right that at least you come home with a point.
Braden, are you wiped out? I mean, you've started every game in December. The Caps have been 8-2-3 in this span. You started every game this month. Do you ever feel like going up to Barry and saying, "Come on, man, I've been playing the whole month here. You need to give me a day off"? Or are you just in that groove now where you're cool with getting the call every game for a month? That works for you.
Yeah, no, I've always said that I'd be comfortable with playing every game. It's I mean, I like a lot of action. I like to see how hard I can work and just keep in a rhythm. So it's I mean, whenever the coach asks me to play, I'll never say no.
People have commented, correct me, because I'm not as keen an observer of this by any stretch, but how your approach might be different this year versus last year, even some technique-oriented type things. Is that true or is that overblown?
There's a few things. I mean, I've obviously last year wasn't a great year. I've got back to my natural instincts a bit this year, but I feel most comfortable with. And then working with Mitch, we've just worked a lot on trying to tighten things up. So, what
does that mean, though, Braden? When you say your natural instincts, what are your natural instincts? For those of us that are casual observers, what are your natural instincts as a goaltender?
I like to read the play. I like to read what's going on, not do the exact same thing every time. I like to kind of almost force the shooters in the shooting places instead of forcing them to beat me. I kind of want to think them at times. So just little things like that to make you feel, depth-wise in the crease, handling the puck, all those little things, just to do the things that got me here.
We're joined by Braden Holtby, Washington Capitals goaltender. Let's go back a few days. Did your goalie coach go nuts when you slid halfway to the blue line to make a save against the Pens on Saturday night? But I guess he couldn't have been too upset. You walked away with a 3-0 shutout, but you did come out to make that save. I think it was on Rust, and you poked the puck away from him. But that was quite a slide by you in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it gave Mitch much of a heart attack. He worked with Dominic Hasek for years, so he's. I think he was used to seeing plays like that.
So obviously we have the Winter Classic here coming up here shortly. What does it mean to you guys? Talk to us about, as a player, how exciting that kind of thing is, and to have it here in DC. We know it's huge for the fans. The thing's been sold out for a while. I mean, it's like clearly the hottest ticket in town in a long, long time. But as a guy that's going to be there and be playing this thing, what does it mean to you?
I've said the same thing. It's kind of it's an honor, obviously, to be a part of such a big spectacle that's really trying to grow our sport. That's what ultimately what we want to do is grow the sport as much as we can. But as many people find out how great of a sport it is. But when it comes to the game, in order to do that, we have to put on a good show. And it's another game. We just got to focus on what we have to do in order to get a win, because in the end, that's the only goal that's going to matter to us. That's the only outcome that we can see coming.
How do the elements factor in, right? So what are they saying? There's a couple things here. First of all, the fact that it's going to be outdoors, right? And the temperature and how that might mess with the ice. We've seen in previous Winter Classics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it kind of puddles up a little bit. How difficult, how much of a factor is that for you? And then I'm just wondering, in terms of like a vision-oriented thing, is it different when you're playing outdoors like that, vision-wise, or, how does your job change?
You know what? I played in an outdoor game in Philly when I was in Hershey, and there was very little difference. I mean, it's they're so good now. They've done this for a number of years, and
right.
And they've really focused on what the feedback is from the players and finding ways to make sure they can improve on it. And I mean, they're having outdoor games in California, so it's I mean, I don't expect anything too drastic. I think they do their best to make sure we can just focus on playing the game.
Braden, what is each player's ticket allotment for, to give to friends and family? Because we have insane people that listen to the show, or friends that just call us up, 3 days before the event.
Randomly.
The biggest event of the year in town, in the Winter Classic. They're like, hey, do you have 2 or 4 tickets lying around you could just give me? What does each player get that's participating in the game? And do you have people coming out of the woodwork trying to get tickets to this event?
Actually, it's not too bad. It's some guys have I think 30, 50 people coming in, which is insane. But I think as far as tickets, we got 4 complimentary, so for wives, kids, parents, and then a possibility to buy 10 or 20 more. I can't really remember. I think I have 11 people coming in, so it's not too crazy.
Not too crazy. All right, so what's the schedule for you between now and then? How does it work?
I think, practicing today, practice outdoors tomorrow, and that's where we really get to enjoy it. Have the family out there watching. They can skate if they want to, and then straight back to work on Thursday.
Nice.
Braden, I looked at the 10-day weather forecast for your hometown of Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. After the New Year, it's going to be temps below 0 for 5 straight days. I'm guessing when you grew up there were a lot of days of just outdoor hockey. That is what you did. Now, if my kid wants to go on a frozen pond out here in D.C., it's the last thing I would let my kid do, because
he's risking your life.
He's going to fall through the ice. He's going to drown. But where you grew up, that's just a common thing. Every day you're out on the frozen pond, right?
Every day, that's what we did. Yeah, there's a lot less risk of the ice breaking back there. It's quite thick. So, I haven't been able to do that in quite some time. So it's definitely something I miss.
Well, Braden, thanks a lot for joining us. We do appreciate it, especially after the quick turnaround last night on Long Island. Best of luck in the Winter Classic in a few days. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me.
Okay, buddy. That's Braden Holtby.
Braden Holtby, your Washington Capitals goalie, who's been a workhorse this December. He started every game in December.
He was playing great,
Yeah,
right?
he's playing his ass off.
He's got 3 shutouts, something like that.
I think it's 2 or 3 shutouts, yeah.
I think, and it started out a little tough, right? And then just been on fire of late.
Yeah, I believe he's 16-8 on the season, maybe 16-9. He's putting up some good numbers for your Capitals. And hopefully he does it again in the Winter Classic.
I'm ready to start to shift my focus to the Caps and the Wizards. I really am.
Yeah.
God. I mean, the NFL is relentless. It never goes away. We're always going to be talking about the Redskins and offseason drama and coaches and changes and free agency and everything else. but I am ready to kind of settle in and really, really start to monitor these things.
Remember, you can join 106.7 The Fan as we rock the riverfront for the 2015 NHL Winter Classic. Canal Park's your pre- and post-game headquarters for live music, craft beer, food, ice skating, and more. Brought to you by Park Tavern. Details at 1067thefandc.com/riverfront.